History isn't just written in books. It's frozen in time, captured in eerie photographs that hold secrets darker than you can imagine. Some of these images seem ordinary at first glance, but look closer, and the truth will haunt you. These photos reveal the forgotten, the shocking, and the downright unbelievable. Stay with us as we uncover the haunting stories hidden behind 7 of history's most mysterious images. You won't believe what's been left unsaid. The most dangerous animal in the world, the mirror that stared back. Imagine walking through the Bronx Zoo in 1963. You pass the enclosures, majestic lions, restless chimpanzees, silent snakes coiled in glass cages. But then, something stops you in your tracks. A sign, printed in blood-red letters above a cage. It reads, "The most dangerous animal in the world." You step closer. Peering between the bars, your breath catches. Inside, there's nothing, only a mirror. And staring back at you is yourself. This was not a prank. It was a message, a warning. This was a time of global unrest. The world had witnessed the horrors of World War II, the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and the Cold War tensions that threatened to wipe out all life on Earth in mere seconds. Human beings had proven their capability for unmatched destruction. The question was it in their very nature? This idea fed into the killer ape theory, a belief that humans were naturally aggressive predators, hardwired for violence and war. Scientists looked at history and concluded this wasn't an anomaly, it was who we were. But what if they were wrong? Recent research tells a different story. The wounds found on ancient skulls, not from brutal fights, but from predators like hyenas. Evidence suggests that before civilization, we weren't bloodthirsty killers. We were prey, vulnerable, hunted. Our survival depended on cooperation, on working together. Maybe the answer lies not in our DNA, but in the world we built around us. Native American overlooks the Transcontinental Railroad, a future stolen. A lone figure stands atop a rugged cliff. Below, a thin steel line stretches into the distance, a path of iron and smoke carving through the land like an open wound. He watches, silent, a Native American, overlooking the very thing that will erase his world forever. This image, captured between 1865 and 1869 by photographer Alfred Hart, is more than just a picture. It is a moment frozen in time, a moment of reckoning, a man watching the unstoppable force of progress. The Transcontinental Railroad was America's crowning achievement, a monumental project spanning 1,907 miles. Built over 6 grueling years. The final golden spike was hammered into the ground on May 10, 1869. From that moment on, the world changed. What had once been an unforgiving, treacherous journey across the West became an effortless ride. But what seemed like a triumph for settlers was a death sentence for Native American tribes. For centuries, these lands belonged to the Native American tribes. They had signed treaties, not fully realizing what they were agreeing to. They had given up their land, but they had never imagined this. A massive mechanical beast tearing through their hunting grounds, shattering the balance of nature they had lived in for thousands of years. Perhaps the greatest crime of the Transcontinental Railroad was what it did to the bison. These animals were the lifeblood of Native American tribes, providing so much. But with the railroad came hunters, paid by the government. By the time the railroad was complete, millions of bison had been wiped out. Segment 3. The man who painted the Golden Gate Bridge, a job that never ends. High above the crashing waves, suspended by a single harness, a lone worker dips his brush into a fresh coat of paint. The color, a deep, unmistakable shade of international orange. It is 1956. The Golden Gate Bridge is more than just an engineering marvel. It is a symbol, a monument to human ambition, a connection between past and future. But what most people don't know is that this bridge is never truly finished. Every single day, men like this worker risk their lives to keep the bridge standing. The Golden Gate Bridge was completed on April 19, 1937, a feat of engineering once thought impossible, a bridge that defied earthquakes, brutal ocean currents, and the skepticism of an entire nation. But this victory came at a cost. The construction of this bridge took 11 lives, workers swallowed by the abyss, others barely survived, saved by a safety net that caught 19 men. They became known as the Halfway to Hell Club. But even after construction ended, the danger did not. For decades, lead-based paint was used to coat this bridge. Poisonous, toxic. Workers inhaled the fumes, their bodies absorbing the chemicals. In 1965, it was finally banned, but the damage had already been done. The slow death of the men who painted it. Today, more than 91 years later, the Golden Gate Bridge still stands. But the work never stops. The paint never dries. The rust never sleeps. They say the Golden Gate Bridge will never be finished. That to keep it standing, it must be rebuilt, stroke by stroke. And the men who paint it, they are ghosts in waiting. This was an effort, a reminder for everyone moving forward in time, but to know history before they do. If you like this episode filled with information that intrigue you to know more, subscribe to Mystery Media Channel to see part 2.